The episode begins with Dara helping the old granny to her feet. After getting up, she had no idea where she was, but the moment she saw the demons, she became terrified. Because of that, Yuru and Dara became certain that those demons did not belong to her and that someone else was controlling them. However, they could not understand how those demons had entered the Tadera clan's lost house. Dara asked right and left how they knew those demons. They explained that they had met them a very long time ago when they had been causing destruction everywhere. With the help of a traveling monk and the wielder of the seal power, they had sealed them inside Mount Yama. They said those demons should still have been sealed there and questioned why they were here. The demons replied that a worthy master had recently removed their heads, allowing them to become free after 1,000 years. However, they still wanted revenge for what had happened 1,000 years ago. They then demanded to know who Right and Left's master was. Since Right and Left were present, they concluded that the twins had already been born. Long Arm stated that one of the twins must possess the seal power. Long Leg nervously asked whether they were going to be sealed again, but declared that they would not allow that to happen this time. Suddenly, Dara ordered Right and Left to attack them. Right was confused about why he should obey, but Left glared at him. He immediately realized that Dara was pretending to be their master in order to protect Yuru. Because of that, both of them began calling Dara their master. Dara started running, and the demons targeted him, believing he was truly Right and Left's master. However, Right and Left intercepted the attacks and began fighting them. Even so, the enemy demons were overwhelming them. As a result, Dara opened fire on them, but the bullets had no effect. Long Arm attacked Dara, who barely managed to dodge. However, his gun was cut apart. When Long Arm moved in for another attack, Right punched it away and Left joined him. The demons observed that no seal power was being used. That meant the wielder of the seal power was not present. Since neither the seal power nor the monk was there to help, they believed they could finally take their 1,000-year revenge. Meanwhile, Yuru and the granny remained hidden, and Dara joined them. He was pleased that Yuru had hidden himself without being told. Yuru asked why he had claimed to be Right and Left's master when it had made him the primary target. Dara replied that he was Yuru's guardian, so protecting him was his responsibility. He also reminded him that Asha had asked him to keep him safe. At that moment, Yuru placed his axe beneath the granny's neck. Dara asked whether she was working with the Kagamori clan or Higashi village. While this was happening, Right and Left continued struggling against the demons, who still held the advantage. Since time was running out, Dara demanded that the granny tell the truth. She admitted that she was working with the Kagamori clan. However, Yuru pressed the axe closer and demanded to know which faction within the Kagamori clan was pursuing them. The granny revealed that they had come under the orders of the second son, Azuma. She explained that she had been instructed to make sure no harm came to them. Because of that, they had followed from a distance and never intended to attack. She wondered why they had ended up caught in the middle of a battle between demons. At that moment, a butterfly was flying nearby, secretly observing them. It was actually a part of Azuma's demon. Yuru remarked that at least the granny was no longer trying to kill them. He then pointed out that if she could see demons, she must have demons of her own. The granny refused. She explained that they had intentionally left their demons behind so that Right and Left would not detect them. Dara called her completely useless. The granny suggested they simply leave the demons behind and escape, since this was a lost house. However, Dara rejected the idea. If the demons and their master learned how to leave, they could escape into the outside world. That meant they needed to find and capture the master as quickly as possible. Since demons naturally tried to protect their master, Yuru was convinced the master had to be nearby. Dara accepted the plan. Yuru ordered the granny to come with them. Having no other choice, she pulled out her hidden knives and agreed. Meanwhile, Right was battling Long Arm while Dara secretly approached the lost house. Long Arm spotted him and launched another attack. Dara narrowly avoided being caught, and just as Long Arm was about to seize him, Right intervened. Long Arm swung him around and hurled him away. Dara noticed that Long Arm had destroyed part of his house. Surprisingly, this worked in his favor because he could now access weapons directly from outside. Elsewhere, the granny searched for the demon's master. However, she only found corpses. Yuru also saw corpses everywhere, making the search extremely difficult. Furthermore, he could not sense any bloodlust from the master, leaving him uncertain how to identify the correct person. At the same time, Long Arm and Long Leg began overpowering Right and Left. However, Right and Left were incredibly tough, and the enemy demons could not seriously harm them. The demons concluded that killing the master first might be more enjoyable. Once the master was dead, they could deal with Right and Left afterward. Suddenly, a bullet pierced Long Leg's eye. The demons were completely confused because they had been imprisoned for 1,000 years and knew nothing about guns. Nearby, Dara lay in a sniping position. He remarked that he had no idea why they were still angry after 1,000 years, but no monsters could stand against modern technology. Dara fired at Long Arm as well and then destroyed Long Leg's remaining eye. This freed Right and Left, who immediately grabbed the two demons and slammed them into each other. Even then, the demons refused to give up. Long Arm soon found the granny, and Long Leg suggested eating her to heal their injuries. The granny begged them not to eat her, and instead pointed them toward the child she had been traveling with. She revealed that he was one of the twins capable of obtaining the seal power, and argued that he would be much tastier. The demons immediately realized that the seal wielder was nearby and had not yet awakened his power. The granny believed her plan had succeeded and prepared to break free and attack them herself. However, Long Arm tightened its grip because it still intended to eat her and recover. At that moment, Yuru attacked Long Arm. He then declared that he was one of the twins capable of separating night and day, and that he was the true master of right and left. The demons realized that this child was indeed right and left's true master. Since the granny had claimed he would inherit the seal power, they concluded he had not yet awakened it. They debated what to do. Killing him would grant him the seal power, which could be used to seal them again. Therefore, they reasoned that they would need to kill him once and then kill him again afterward. One of them doubted they could manage that, especially since right and left would never allow it. Yuru then ordered right and left not to interfere unless he specifically told them to. He wanted to handle the fight himself. They agreed. As a result, Long Arm attacked Yuru, who dodged every strike. The demons became convinced that right and left truly would not intervene. Working together, they advanced on him. Yuru could not understand how Long Leg was still moving without its eyes. The demons explained that if Long Leg could not use its eyes, Long Arm would become its eyes. Likewise, if Long Arm could not move properly, Long Leg would become its legs. Their minds had become one, forming their true form. The two relentlessly attacked Yuru, while he struggled to evade them. Meanwhile, Dara attempted to snipe them again, but they were moving too much for him to get a clear shot. Yuru hid behind a tree. The demons attacked the tree, grabbed a skeleton lodged within it, and hurled it toward Dara, having figured out his location. They then resumed their assault on Yuru. He barely avoided their attacks and took cover behind the walls of a house. The demons immediately sensed him there and smashed the house as well. Yuru fled again, but they uprooted a massive tree and threw it at him. A huge cloud of dust erupted, and Yuru appeared to be trapped beneath a fallen tree. The demons approached him and began discussing how they should kill him. Meanwhile, right and left still did not intervene because they trusted Yuru completely. Then Yuru opened his eyes and pointed his hand toward them. The demons instantly thought he had awakened the seal power. When Yuru clenched his fist, they became even more confused and hesitated. Yuru explained that they had fallen into his trap. That hesitation gave right and left the opening they needed. Following Yuru's command, right and left separated the two demons. Left hurled Long Arm into the water and then dropped a statue on top of it. Unable to see, Long Leg called out for Long Arm. Long Arm stretched its arm toward Long Leg, but right severed it. As a result, Long Arm died. At the same time, Dara fired a shot that blew off Long Leg's neck. Both Long Arm and Long Leg transformed into relics. Right praised Yuru for his strategy. Yuru explained that when Asha had used Break, she had activated it by opening and closing her hand. He had assumed the seal power would work in the opposite way. He had been correct because the demons became terrified. Right agreed, saying that if Yuru had truly sealed them again, no one would have been able to save them. The seal power was genuinely terrifying. He continued praising Yuru for standing against those monsters. Then left captured the butterfly belonging to Azuma's demon. They had sensed it earlier, but its aura had been so faint that they could not locate it. The granny explained that it was a butterfly created from a tiny fragment of Azuma's demon. Destroying the butterfly would not harm the original demon in any way. With that, the episode came to an end.